Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Asia Rugby Live. Real talk, real rugby with me, Rod. And of course, selamat pagi, selamat petang, selamat malam, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to wherever you are and whatever that you are doing right now. Thank you for being with us at Asia Rugby Live. And of course, today we have three special guests from three different countries talking about rugby. But before we talk to them, just a few updates on the rugby news. Of course, you can go to asiarugby.com for the latest rugby updates around the world and especially around Asia. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram page of Asia Rugby Live. And first, I think Asia Rugby would like to congratulate Mr. Alan Gilpin, who has been appointed as the new CEO of World Rugby. And of course, he is no stranger to this role, as before he was the COO and also the managing director, if I'm not mistaken, of Rugby World Cup Limited. And of course, I think Mr. Alan Gilpin will lead World Rugby to new heights. We wish him all the best, and hopefully he'll do a great job in the World Rugby. And if you go to Asia Rugby now, you can check out the Rugby World Cup 2023 match schedules is out now. You can check out the pool stages, the knockout stages, as well as the finals. Where will it be? Dates and stuff like that. So it's on asiarugby.com. And today we have three special guests. We are talking to young leaders who are leading their countries who in various roles. So today we have guests from the Philippines, we have from Bangladesh, and we have from Nepal. First, I would like to, of course, ladies first, we introduce Angella Camille Sanwan, who also known as AC, the Rugby Development Manager of Philippines. Hey, so AC, how you been? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and also probably your rugby journey? Because I know you play rugby and you didn't answer my question. What position that you played before? So
Okay,
please.
thank you, Rod. Thank you, Rod, and thank you, Asia Rugby, for inviting me to this tonight's show. So, as mentioned, you can call me AC. I'm AC San Juan, Rugby Development Manager for Philippine Rugby Football Union. And I'm also I'm the former captain of the women's team, national team. I also coach. I'm a match official. I'm a safeguarding officer and also a world rugby educator. So my rugby journey started actually during university because I played touch football and I was introduced to rugby through that sport. So my coach then was a rugby player and he used to bring us to these rugby games, and during 15 aside halftime, we play touch football during that halftime. So at first, watching those, it's all men, and it was really intimidating at first because I never saw female coaches, female players during that time. But eventually, I took the courage to try it in 2010 through my friends because they also tried it. And when I experienced my first tackle, when I experienced tackling someone a lot bigger than me, which is mostly most people are bigger than me because I'm a scrum half, I'm small. And yeah, I got really hooked. And until now, I'm involved in a lots of other ways. So yeah, I'm excited to share my rugby journey to you tonight. Thank you, Rod.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with us tonight, for spending time with us. And I think in Manila it's the same time as Kuala Lumpur, so it's not your sleeping time yet, so it's great. Anyway, moving on. The second person I would like to introduce to you is the Mr. CEO. He's a young guy. He's from Bangladesh. Nazmus Shakib Shovon. Also, we can call him Shovon. So he's the CEO. And of course, Shovon, you've been involved with rugby before. Can you tell us, a little bit about yourself and also your rugby journey?
Okay. Okay. I'm Nazmus Shakib, and I am CEO of Bangladesh Federation Union, as well as I'm the head coach of Bangladesh Junior Tigers. Actually, I started rugby from 2012 in a missionary school named St. Gregory's High School, which is famous in Bangladesh. So there we play so many sports but actually I was a footballer. So this is Said Ahmed sir, who's joint secretary of this federation. He took me to love this game. So when I actually played the game again and again, so I basically fall in love with it because of its values. Uh, in 2013, I got to chance to play the Bangladesh games, uh, and I got a gold medal from it, participating in Nora 16. After that, from 2014 to 2017, I worked in a Bangladesh Army unit rugby team as a domestic trainer as well as a coach of Bangladesh Army unit. So there, 57 East Bengal regiment as well as stage beat. So I worked in so many places, and they have got become champions. After that, I took level one. I finished level one at 2015, and I finished level two coach at 2019 from India. So in Bangladesh, there are two level two coach. The second person is me, and the first person is Mahfizul Islam Kanchan Bhai. And after that, I started as a rugby development manager from 2019, and in 2008, from 2018, I we just took a team called Bangla Junior Tigers as underage team. So we just got the best players from these schools and uh, and and make a team and put them to Japan to participate in the exchange Asian Exchange Rugby Fest. So there we have got so many experiences, and then we have got to see the World Cup of 2019 in Japan. And after that, in 2021, I became the CEO of Bangladesh Federation Union. So here is my journey. Thank you very much.
Wow, congratulations. So you are the newly appointed CEO as well of Bangladesh Rugby Union.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
the
Oh,
three of you have
yeah,
something in
yeah,
common. You guys started playing football first, just like Bijaya, who
yeah,
is the general manager of the Nepal Rugby Union. The thing is about BJ, he played football last time, but he never played rugby until he got involved in rugby. He never played rugby also. But now I think BJ, you are you having a hard time trying to understand the game as well as trying to be an administrator of the Nepal Rugby Union?
No, thank you, first of all, to Rod and to the Asia Rugby for inviting me on this show. To be honest, when I was completing my master's degree in UK, my friends used to take me every day on bar to watch football, or because rugby was pretty popular, is pretty popular in the Swansea and Wales. So I was quite, they used to teach me a little about rugby, and we used to watch it all night. So I was pretty familiar. But when I came back during the lockdown, and I found this uh, job of a general manager, which is a dream job for any person who has a career or who has academics with physical education, and also I have a degree on sports management, or to be particular is sports ethics and integrity. So when I got this dream job, I was like, why won't I join, even if it's rugby or is any other game? And I'm not just a rugby lover, I think, or football lover. I'm a sports lover, and I think this is a good opportunity and a big challenge for me, and I think I'm up for it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. The thing about Nepal is BJ. If you talk about rugby, a lot of people associate rugby is like a warrior sport, and Nepal is famous for Gurkha. So I think you should involve a lot of Gurkhas to play rugby. So then you have that warrior spirit playing for
Yeah,
Nepal.
definitely,
Anyway, guys, thank
definitely.
you very much for being with us tonight. Of course, we're gonna talk about your journey, your experiences and whatnot. But first of all, Shovon, probably you as a CEO, when you took over in 2021, what's your vision for Bangladesh Rugby Union, and also what do you want to change for the union?
Okay, so in the couple of years, what I have noticed that we have a good structure to move up the game, but what we lack things that well, that we are not focusing on simple things like short by like step by step, like we are in the in a tournament we can we can focus on pictures, like if like this is a Facebook world right now. So what I did, like, to uh, to give a professional photographer, as well as to give a good medical team, so that the injured players can get a uh, quick recovery from them, and as well as we just change the match sheet, and we just give them a world rugby standard style, so that we can practice it, so that when any international tournaments will be arranged in Bangladesh, it will be easier for us to to achieve our goal. As well as if we're focusing on the other districts, like, my vision is to create spread the rugby within 2 years in the whole Bangladesh. So what I share my ideas with our joint secretary and our secretary, Mr. Moshum, that we can uh, we can arrange the courses in every district. So there we will have so in that term we can arrange a volunteer course and first aid course. From them, we already have 17 regional development officers. So they are not working like seriously. So what we'll do that we'll put the volunteers work in the other places to go them to search the schools, and there they can perform the GIR, and we can give them a simple amount of money, and after that they will report it to RDM, RDO, and then they will report to us. So it will be easier process to spread the game in all the areas, as well as we can continue it. Like, they will be the coach of that school, and for again good uh, training, we can have uh, twice a year for domestic training. So so what I focus there, that the volunteer coaches, which will be the good volunteer coach, uh, good hard workers, they will get much facilities from the federation, as well as who are good referees, who will be a good players, will motivate them, will give them a good team to enter, so that they can have a good life from it. Even we can have we've already departed two teams, like coaches group and referees group. They already give a competition like lost game and tournaments, ending tournaments, like we have I just planning to have twice a month. We can give them exam, law exam, that which group can do better, so that they can upgrade them themselves automatically. As well as we have we have started a refreshing course in every tournament, before it, because all the referees uh, can have a good refreshment, and as well as they can memorize the things they have not doing well in the last couple of days or in the last couple of tournaments. So why they didn't do, we just took a report, and then we just give them feedback. So so from them, like, we after that we just arrange two two terms of referee test. Like, we have started referee fitness test, referee written exam, signal test, as well as practical math test. So it will have them clear that it is not the same anymore. If you want to be a good match officiate, you have to be upgraded. So you can see in the last exam that around 15 or 16 participants from all over the Bangladesh referees participated to to become the match official for Bangladesh games, because it's a big tournament. So about two times in a year, in the big tournaments, we'll have this to uh, to uh, to take a good result from the referees, to let them upgrade it by their own minds. So
Yeah.
so this is the things we are changing.
Yeah, the thing is, one thing about you, because the experiences that you have with rugby before, I think what you're doing is you're trying to implement whatever that you think is needed, the change that is needed to be implemented, so that everyone is has the same vision as you. So yeah, well done. Thank you for sharing with that. There's a lot to, of course, uh, to take, but I think you have a good vision. You just need to implement it well. So well done there. And of course, I
Thank you.
think I just want to put it out there to our audience. If you have any questions today, please do relay it in the comment below. And Mafizo Islam, I know you are watching. Please ask your CEO anything that you want to ask. So this is the day that you can ask publicly. So okay. Anyway, next for BJ. BJ, you're the GM of Nepal Rugby Union. So what were the things? What was the steps taken when you took over the role as the general manager of Nepal Rugby Union?
So first of all, whenever you go to any organization, I think you need to understand the situation, how it is going, and what has been done before. So I think past few months, I've been trying to achieve it, and maybe most probably, I think I have understood what is going on and what was working on. And as you mentioned, like we are Nepal is known as for Gorkhalis, and we are brave. And I think this, uh, because of that, I think this game has a like a big chance to grow in Nepal. And first of all, I think we're supposed to work on sponsorship and marketing. Marketing, because people don't know about this game. It's not introduced in Nepal properly. So I think that's our major, that's our and my major goal. And with sponsor and marketing, we're trying to increase workforce. Workforce in the sense, we need more coaches, we need more managers, and we need more referees, so that we can conduct games, tournaments, and also at the administrative level, we need more workforce that has the knowledge of rugby. So we're trying to improve it. And if you can see in Nepal Rugby space, you will see that we are having training and education program all over the country already, and we are not stopping there, and we are going to the rest of the provinces that is left, and we are trying that every provinces and every district has their own coaches and their own referees. And the major part of my personal step was to not just to grow rugby in Nepal, but to grow rugby safely. So in the safely, in the sense, not for the injuries, but for any unethical behavior, that unethical things that would come along the sports, because the issues of safeguarding, issues of doping, issues of match fixing has been troubling the Europe and all the major sports. So what I'm trying to do is embed safeguarding from these activities in the culture of Nepal rugby, and make not just grow the rugby, but make the game, the rugby game, the safest place, the safest sports in Nepal. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you know what, I agree with you. Rugby is a safe, it's a very safe sport. The thing on the field, everyone will be going against each other, but off the field, everyone is family. I think everyone can attest to that. And of course, AC, you can attest to that as well. Since everyone is talking about their vision of their own union of Bangladesh Rugby, of Nepal Rugby, probably AC, you as the rugby development manager of Philippines Rugby, you can share what's your vision that you have for the development of Philippines Rugby.
Okay. So my vision is to make sure that the Filipinos, they get the opportunity to play the sport. Because from my experience, I started playing rugby when I'm a bit older. So compared to other countries, their kids start young, and that's my vision, to make sure that the kids have the opportunity to play. And also, as what Bijaya said, one of my vision is to make the sport rugby as safe as possible to everyone. So that's why I'm also a safeguarding officer for Philippine Rugby Football Union. And one of the things that we started is we created a policy to make sure that we have structures in place to ensure that everyone involved in our sport, not just the kids, even the match officials, the coaches, all the stakeholders are protected, and to make sure that their physical and mental and emotional well-being are being taken care of. So hopefully, eventually we get to see more Filipinos playing the game and being involved in the game. So since rugby is a new sport in the Philippines, what we want to see it like a household name. A rugby is like something that you just want to play. You want to go on Saturdays, you go out on Saturdays and you play with your rugby friends. You include your family, your friends, so we get together. So that's one of my vision for development for rugby in the Philippines.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay. And of course, like you mentioned, it's not about your experience,
Mm,
discovering rugby late. So,
mm,
in terms of that, do you think right now with an amount of staff that
mm,
you guys have and whatnot, do you think you'll be able to reach out to kids, young at a young age,
mm,
expose them to
mm.
rugby and probably retain them at a longer time so that you guys produce more players in the long run?
Yeah, that's what we envision, and to make sure that we also invest in festivals, in competitions, so that they have something to play in. And we also make sure that we have enough coaches, match officials. That's why we also focus on training and education, so that we have more positive role models, male coaches, female coaches, that these kids can look up to. And we also emphasize character building, not just on the field but also off the field. So for us, it's already a success story knowing that we have a kid who played rugby and he or she gained positive experience with it, and he or she was able to apply the values of the game outside the field. So that's what we really envision to do.
Ah, nice, nice. And you also mentioned about the role model that
Mm,
players have to younger kids. And of course, we know a few years ago, the Philippines team, the men's
mm,
team, we they were really good. They were in the Premier Division because
mm,
you guys had half Filipinos and half Australians playing for you guys, and the team did really well. So these guys,
mm,
how was their impact as a
mm,
role model to the
mm.
younger Filipino kids? Until now,
Yeah.
what was the impact like?
Okay, so just to clarify, they're not all half Australians. So they
Uh-huh.
some are like half Americans, half English, half Kiwi. And we're
Right, right.
always very grateful for all our national players who come up and represent the country, because we really appreciate all the sacrifices and effort that's everyone done for the country. So this overseas players, they come to the country, and some of them already relocated to the country and also are helping out in our development program. And it's good because at least they're the kids, they can see this their national team heroes, they can like play against them, they see them coaching. So it's really good for our development, and seeing them their skills, it challenges and gives our development program something to attain to, that this level, we need to be at this level to make sure that our local kids get competitive and have be competitive enough to also play in the national team. So hopefully everyone, all these kids, they stay in the sport because they get inspired with all these stories of our national teams, national players.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things that you guys have overseas based players. I wouldn't say that they
Mm,
are, half Filipino.
yeah,
I think the right
yeah,
term for it is overseas based players. Okay, anyway,
yeah.
I want to talk
Mm,
to
mm,
BJ. BJ, hearing of the visions that your I would say counterparts here have. So what's your vision for Nepal rugby? Or before that, congratulations, Shovon from Sabir Chowdhury. Okay, yeah. Again, BJ, what's your vision for Nepal rugby?
For Nepal rugby, I think, as Ish mentioned, first we need to work on grassroots, and the grassroots, not just work on grassroots, because what they do after learning the game. So I want to make a like a tournament for the school levels where they can start playing from a regional level, and where they play in districts. First they play in districts, then they come to provinces, and they grow up and they come up to the national level. So if this channel is made uh, properly, then I think we can have a great team in grassroots, in the young players coming up. Not only the young, within 3 to 4 years, I'm trying to develop as an organization a commercial league where not the league stays for at least 6 to 7 months, not just for like a month or 3 months that usually happens in our country. So if we can build up this thing, then I think our workforce who needs a job and who need us to sustain through rugby will get big opportunity. And this league that I'm talking about is the major point that we are as an organization trying to achieve, because this will help us to grow rugby, to make it more popular. So within 3 years we want to try to develop this league. And the second part is the workforce that I'm trying is about coaches, about the referees. So what I vision is that our coaches and referees, they are not, they should not be limited to Nepal. So uh, I want our coaches and referees to develop in such a way that they can represent in international level. And for that we are planning to have exchange programs with other nations or other developed nations, between for the referees and coaches, where referees from our country go to other country, and also their teams and their referees back to Nepal, come to Nepal and have a learning phase where our referees and coaches learn to become professional or international level, world rugby level referees and coaches. And the next and the last part would be um, make or inbuild a good governance in the organization, in the Nepal Rugby Association. And for not only a good governance, but I'm keeping safeguarding and inclusion a priority, because I think women's need to step up, and we have already developed women's development committee, and they're doing marvelous job already. So I want this committee to come forward, and not just at the administration level, but at also the grassroots level and the tournaments level. We want to have more tournaments on with women's and the girls, for the young girls who have interest, like I said, make more opportunity for all the people who are interested in rugby in Nepal. And at the end, I want to see Nepal Rugby Association as an ideal organization where everyone can look up and say, wow, this is the model that we should follow, and they're doing like that. That's my goal. Thank you.
Oh, great vision that you have, BJ. And probably, if you can relate, you've heard of, rugby playing in snow, rugby playing in on the beaches, like a unique condition that is rugby is being played on. Do you have that vision of probably rugby being played at some place high, because Nepal is known for the highest mountain in the world, which is Everest. So probably we can hear one day of having a probably rugby sevens or rugby tens tournament at a really high altitude. Probably we can call it the highest rugby game in the world. Do you envision that?
Yeah, actually, it was not my vision. The association had already had this vision of having a Himalayan Rugby Fest. I think
Mm-hmm.
you guys will hear a lot about this now from Nepal Rugby Association, because we are already on the planning phase of it, and we're trying to, if the COVID doesn't stop us, I think we will have a Himalayan Rugby Fest to be organized by November of this year, yeah, if everything goes right. If not, we hope like uh, the phase where we should work, we will make everything ready, and hope that COVID-19 situation help us and make this event successful. So, explaining a little bit about the Himalayan Rugby Fest. it is because Nepal, as you said, Nepal is a mountainous country and we have beautiful mountains. So what we are trying to do is invite players and international guests who like to play rugby. So we will have a small trekking from some places and then reach up to the base camp of Sub Mountain and play rugby there. And we're trying to bring a sustainable tournament in the uh, near to the base camp of mountains and return back and enjoy themselves looking at the beautiful scenario and enjoying the trekking. So we first that this is the immediate plan that we have, and I think this will not only help us grow rugby but also promote sports tourism and not only sports tourism of Nepal as well.
Nice, nice. And I'll be waiting for Nepal Rugby to sponsor me to come to Nepal in November so that I can be the MC of the tournament. I'll do it for free. Anyway. Okay, Shovon, I want to ask you about, as a leader, as a CEO. So, what do you reckon of? What do you think are the advantages of having a young leader in the federation?
Actually, a young leader can have so many good things as well as it has some side effects. Like the good thing is he's young, he can work, yeah, he can give support to the federation for a very long time. He can be a good role model for his characteristics. Even uh, uh, he's a modern civilization, so he can work the federation and go through them like in a modern way. So this is a good thing to use a young leader for the federation. And if you think of side effects, like because of age problem, someone uh, some guys can't handle this situation because it's a very tough situation. Sometimes you can get from the girls or the boys can except that you can have some characteristic problem you will face because of age problem, and except that it's a very big responsibility that you are running through. So actually, a young leader has to be a very good self motivator so that he can motivate him from the beginning and to the end to work hard from his own journey. So that's how a young leader can help. Like like what I have experienced so far that uh, sometimes this situation came that uh, yeah, you had to handle some senior which who are working under you, but some but he was your coach or your something superior. So sometimes it is quite difficult to uh, to handle the situation with them, but somehow I can manage it. And as well as for the great modern sites that a young leader can change, like the federation was stayed sustainable. The federation was something that in a tournament, what we need to focus the tournament, uh, the outside look, like we can uh, we can give some good placards, we can exhibition some rugby history by the cockpit. What I did in the last to, a couple of tournaments from the age group, like under-age tournaments, that the kids was focused to the outside look because they got to know the rugby history from the tournaments outside, as well as they got to take pictures from the tiger placard. So this is something you need to change the tournament to look very beautiful, as well as our yelling neck can focus that how can a game go to a good hand to be promoted, like what I have done to give the game and took it to the higher level of ministry, like to the Ministry of Electricity, so that he is a leading person of Bangladesh, so he can give a lot of straightness and awareness of of rugby. So I already gave a ball to him, as well as he already arranged a tournament, and through his Facebook, Rugby stood out and got a lot of uh, spectators from them. As well as we are targeting this type of persons that they can took this game to the high level of ministries like this, so that the game can speed up quickly and everyone can get a good awareness. Already we have safeguarding policy and the other things. Actually, this is some little points we are missing. So finally, like some couple of days ago, our secretary took the game to the board of education to include it, and and we had a meeting with the education to the Ministry of Education, Dr. Deepu Moni. So if it goes well, we'll include this game in the board so that every corner of Bangladesh we can spread out this game. So this is the thing. This is the outcome from a young leader can came out through the tough times and through the good times. So that's it.
Thank you for that. And of course, I somewhat agree to Shovon, whereby having a young leader is good for an organization. But I think we cannot discount having an experienced leader as well, because they have gone through a lot and they know the ropes and they know the things that has been happening and can implement and probably make things better. But anyway, I think having all and you in an organization as a leader would be great to an organization. Okay, anyway, we have one Facebook question. Let us see what is the question. And this is from Madil Salinas. Probably is your friend lah, AC. So AC Philippines has a lot of good beaches to promote to. Are you planning to have beach rugby in the future? So are you planning to have beach rugby in the future? Just now
Yeah.
we had mountain rugby and this is beach rugby.
Yeah, actually, Madil is one of our very dedicated development officers and also one of our
Nice.
local unstoppables. So, hi, Madil, and
Uh-huh.
thank you for your question. So, yeah, we have a lot. We have so many islands in the Philippines, and beach rugby has been in our plans ever since. And um, COVID just happened, but we've been planning to have beach rugby in the north. I think it's in Aurora, Baler, and also in Cebu, where Madil is based. There they have so many good beaches. So we're planning to have some tournament set up there. So eventually, hopefully after this pandemic, we start playing again, and beach will be one of our top priorities. So it's same as Nepal, that we also want to promote tourism, sports tourism. So yeah, thank you, Madil.
What about what about Palawan? Nothing in Palawan?
Yeah, Palawan. Yeah, we can. Because there's a club. We have a club team in Palawan. And actually,
Right.
most of our club teams which are based near the islands in the beach, they already conduct training sessions at the beach. So it's really beneficial for them because they don't need to rent fields. If they want to practice contact rugby, they have like fine white sand to play contact in, and hopefully Palawan will be one of it, and Cebu and Aurora, and also we have some beach in Davao where there's a really strong rugby club, and also hopefully we bring it to Boracay because before we used to play touch football in Boracay, so hopefully next time we have rugby, contact rugby, even touch, like anything as long as there's the rugby ball. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I know there's a lot of islands in the Philippines. How many islands are there in the Philippines? It's in the
I
thousands,
lost
right?
count. 7,000 plus,
Seven times.
7,000 plus. I'm not sure because sometimes you have to check if it's low tide or high tide. Because if it's
Right.
high tide, some of the islands go missing. But if it's low tide, like you'll see all of the islands. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So 7,000 islands, and probably if you say what every island has one beach, so you have 7,000 beaches to to choose from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, something unique about Philippines. Just know something unique about the Nepal mountain rugby, high altitude rugby, and this is beach rugby. So Wow, just great that this initiative, this vision has been looked at. And we have another Facebook question. Okay, let us see the other Facebook question. Is it for? So Kwan Fansu, what advice would you give to parents to help develop young players into becoming tomorrow's leaders? Probably BJ. BJ, you can. I think you can take this, BJ.
I think uh, about the leaders. I think not just about the players, but leader as well. People, when they think about playing or getting into rugby or any other sports, they think about being player. But uh, if you can think more into administration or coach or referee, I think that could be a difference. And what we as a young leaders can bring to an organization is bridging the gap between all the associations and the players. I think Aish and Shovon might already have felt that we are close both to players and to the administration as well. And to the parents, I think first of all, I think let your children's focus or enjoy what they do. First, I think I would suggest them, like if sports or any background they want to focus, I think parents will allow them. And the second thing I would say, if they are getting into rugby or this, believe in your children. And I think not just believe, help them to get better. If they cannot, if you can see that your children is very motivated to sports and they can't be a very good player, or they cannot sustain their life, then promote them to study and make them a sports manager, like maybe me, or make them coaches, or make them referees. So I think there are many possibilities that we have to look into. And if the parents think that their children are like very much interested, I think parents need to search themselves about how best their children could be involved to the sports itself. So I would suggest, I think that's my suggestion, like.
And of course, I think rugby create leaders. That's one thing I would like to emphasize to every parent out there. So make sure that you expose your children to rugby. Anyway, okay, before I close the show, there's one comment on Facebook. It says, it's from Krishna Tapachatri. It says, let's make 15th friendly match between Nepal and Bangladesh. There you go. Anyway, so you guys can talk to each other after this, set up a friendly match between, Bangladesh and Nepal. It will be great. Hopefully we can cross borders soon. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you very much to everyone for watching the show. It's been great. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences, your thoughts on being a young leader. And of course, there are a lot of challenges, but I think you guys will do well with the vision that you have for your own union, and also probably your own position that you have in your union. I'm Rod. See you guys again next week. Till then, this is Asia Rugby Live, real talk, real rugby.